ET did the research. It's 1.7 million corporations annually that book speakers. It's like 50-something thousand national conferences. It's 132,000 elementary, middle, and high schools in the world. Like 50,000 universities. Like, it's so many opportunities.
Yep.
Oh, little fish, big pond, big splash, big bag. Little fish, big pond, big splash, big bag.
What's going on, world? Welcome back to the Next Level Speakers podcast.
Yeah.
It is good to be here. This is episode 2. Brand new
Just like
to the podcast, not the game. We veterans in the game. Jay, how you feeling today, baby?
amazing. Feeling like an OG in the game.
Come on. Feeling like an OG, man. What's the word? How you been? How's the fam?
Bro, super good. Tracy right now on the girls trip.
Okay.
So I got the kids handled. Can I just brag on Jewel real quick?
Yeah, please.
Bro, so I got my son is 4, my daughter's 10. She told me last night, Daddy, wake me up at 6 o'clock. I'm like, why, baby? She's like, because I got to get ready. I got to make breakfast and lunch. I'm like, it ain't that deep, bro. I wake her up at like 6:45. I call her on her little camera in her room. She's pissed. Daddy, I'm 45 minutes late. Bro, by the time I finished working out, taking a shower, 30 minutes later, bro, she dressed for school. She got Jackson dressed for school, teeth brushed, breakfast made. But she had the yogurt put aside, sliced up some fruit, made some little veggie sausages, and put the waffles in the oven. And had her lunch and snack made. Talking about, here's some stuff for your protein shake, Daddy. To put in the blender. I'm thinking like, I hit Tracy like, boo, she
Go ahead and stay an extra week.
I'm like,
Jewel got it. You know
and as much as because the goal is always to leave at 7:30. And even when Tracy be at the crib, I don't never get out the house by 7:30. Nigga, I got out the house this morning at 7:34. And Tracy was like, okay, I see you. I was just like, the character in me couldn't take the hit. I had to say, it wasn't me though. It was Jewel. If it was on me, we'd be looking at 7:47.
Yeah, you know what? The ring camera, she caught you on the ring?
The Vivid. It's all the
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one too. You know what I hate about all this new technology and everything else?
What's that?
You can't surprise your wife no more.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bruh, listen to what I'm trying to tell you. All of our cards are connected. All of our bank accounts are connected.
For sure.
Now even the car, like, got a GPS thing on it where it's like, so back in the day, you ever go on, you got to speak, you go on a road trip, and maybe you told her like, hey, I got to be back Sunday, but something happened to where you could get back Saturday, and you could pop up at the crib just like, bro, that's dead.
That's dead. Yeah.
I remember last time I was like, bet, I ain't gonna tell her, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, yeah, I had parked at the airport. And I was like, yeah, I ain't gonna tell her I'm coming back, just surprise her, da-da-da-da. Bruh, why did I forget when I was paying to get out the little parking ride? Swipe my card. What happened when you swipe your card? Boom, pop right up on her phone. So I forgot though.
Right.
So I tried to come in like, hey, guess who? She like, oh yeah, I saw that 40 minutes ago when you paid at the parking ride. I said, so anyway, the Ring camera now, it's like, dang, if I wanted to sneak, grab some fly, it's just, bruh, it's making it hard on the brother. Now I just be like, hey, what you want? So when I mentioned last episode how I had bought the ring. Now I'm gonna be real. I'm doing all right in life. That ring sustained us. That little $2,400 ring sustained us for quite a while.
Right.
But I'm gonna be real. And my wife, shout out to my wife, she never asked for a new ring. She never was like, yo, this little popcorn machine ring you bought me is trash. She used to be polishing it up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you the truth. My wife's so gangster. One of the diamonds fell out of the band. So instead of saying she wanted to go get a new diamond, in which I told her like, hey, just go replace it. Right. She was like, no, I don't want to right now. Let me tell you something, Jay. This was as recent as a year ago. She was going to Target and buying a Target ring just as a band to go with her engagement ring. And I was like, boo, why you doing that? And she was like, well, I just, it's not that big a deal. And so, but the Target boy only got about 3 weeks before it started looking tarnished. So, but it's like $5. So she go to Target every day.
Right.
So she would just like put another band on. So then so I told myself like, all right, you need to get this done, right? Go boss up with the big check.
Yeah.
Dog, I had to have Maul buy it
Oh, for sure.
and pay him back?
For sure.
Because I could not. I'm like, okay, I can't go take this amount of money out the bank account. She gonna know. I can't buy it on no credit card.
Right,
She
she
gonna
gonna
know.
know. Yep.
So I was like, Ma, use your card. Matter of fact, when we bought it, they were like, yeah, can we get a phone number? I'm like, his phone number, his address.
It ain't tied to me at all.
And so finally, you know, we took that trip to Italy.
Wow.
We was in Rome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was able to bop, and she was like, no clue.
I already know.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I say surprise, I'm talking about like literally zero clue. Because it wasn't our anniversary. It wasn't her birthday. It wasn't none of that. We was just in Italy.
Right.
And you know, I hit her, and she hadn't said anything about it. But anyway.
Who would ever known that the speaking industry
Yeah.
will put you in a position
Yeah.
to take romantic trips to Italy?
Oh, for sure.
To put you in a position to say, hey, bro, get this ring for me. I'll wire it to you afterwards.
Yeah,
like to be able to experience these type of things.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, the speaking industry, of course, but just the entire ecosystem of the speaking
that
industry.
part. Yeah.
You know what I'm
'Cause
saying?
it's
Like,
opened up so much more.
oh, bro, it like what happens is it opens so many doors for other things. You know what I mean? Like, do you know how many relationships and people that I've met because E speaks and because we have this industry and because we have these relationships and, you know, all of these things. I mean, my brother and business partner for life, Jamal, I know him because of the speaking industry. You know what I mean? Everything that I have and everything that I am really comes from that speaking industry. So shout out to Jewel, though, man. Shout out to Jewel. It was 10 years old, right?
Yeah.
Holding
10.
it down, man. And Jax is
4.
Yeah, see, that's this like I feel like, and I got 9 and 6.
Yeah.
It's the best age, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro, we ain't got no diapers.
Oh yeah.
We just rolling around as a squad, like you know what I mean. It's just a great age. So shout
Jack
out
come
to
in.
the baby.
What's up, Dad? You want to play basketball? I'm like, man, how can I deny that?
Oh, bro,
You
come
know
on, man, come
I'm
on.
like, let's go.
Listen, man.
I got the moves, Dad. He ain't hit the rim yet.
Oh yeah,
but
for
he
sure.
out there hooping.
He out there hooping, bro. Out there hooping. Yep. No, my oldest is a boy, and then shout out to my daughter, man. My daughter's hilarious. Well, you know, they got this thing now, Jay, where they doing plays at the crib. So like, you know, like
little skits.
Yeah, skits. So her and my niece like Princess 1, Princess 2, and my son is like the council. And they doing this play the other day. I said, kids are hilarious, bro.
Yeah.
So they like come out and they like in the medieval 1800s and all of this, right? So anyway, it was like in the middle of the play, Sweet Pea, my daughter, was like, picked up her phone and was like, hey, the other princess is over here. And then my wife from the back was like, they had phones in the 1800s? My daughter looked dead at her and was like, it's a flip phone.
It's a flip phone. Bruh, that's brilliant.
Bruh, I said, what?
That's brilliant.
In her little mind, she like, the flip was back.
That's brilliant.
I said, wow, I'm definitely getting old.
Hey, let me just say, for those of y'all that's still kind of getting to know us, because they might not really know, like, man, we very, very family oriented. As you can tell,
Of
right?
course.
We done went 8-9 minutes just talking about our family, but we want you to understand something here. Even in our conferences, spouses come free. Like that's one of the core fundamental beliefs. Like we're big on family and marriage and spouses and that type of thing. And so, can I just brag on B-Rad real quick?
Please.
Man, the young bull out in New Jersey, he's been a part of the Speakers Academy for 2 years. The first year, his goal was just to be able to quit his job and be a full-time speaker. He was working at a group home, getting fight and scratched and every day. And during COVID, like it was the worst. We helped him quit his job. Bro, do you know, talking about family oriented, do you know, bro, that last year he made $70,000 in 6 months and took the next 6 months off to be home with his newborn baby and wife? Come on, bro, that's not a flex, bro. If that's not a flex, my man said, yep, I did 70 grand in 6 months. I'm taking the rest of this year off to just be at home with my newborn baby. So that family aspect, man. So when I think about the experiences we able to have and how it came from the ecosystem and speaking, you know, it's not just us that benefits. It's not just the lives we changing, but even the people within your household.
We'll talk about that, your lifestyle now. Obviously, Tracy's on a girls trip. Like, what is your lifestyle like now that you've set it up around your speaking career? You're in high demand as a speaker. You obviously train speakers. You know, we have programs, conferences, all of those things. Talk about your lifestyle now and kind of how do you make your decisions on how much to travel, how much to speak, and when to take what gigs, and like what's your process now?
So Jackson, last year I left for a gig and Jackson was crying and grabbed my leg and said, "Daddy, don't leave me."
Mm.
And that thing, it messed with my head. I could have just been like, hey, boy, I'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it just, I mean, he didn't say, Daddy, don't, he was like, Daddy, don't leave me.
Yeah.
But I hit Ebony and was like, hey, 40 grand. I was like, price go up. You don't pay me now to speak. You pay me to leave my family. Right. And so that's the mindset that I have now.
Absolutely.
And so I'll say that as far as how it's to change as far as what gigs to take. And then I don't feel bad about taking the gigs as $2,500 or $5,000 or $15,000 because we got a whole community of people that we can refer and put on. So I don't feel bad like, oh man, ain't nobody. No, somebody gonna bless them babies. We got a whole bunch of phenomenal people we train. And so that's kind of where I am now. But as far as like how often do we travel and things like that, it really depends on my wife. There are times, bro, when my wife be like, we ain't got it. And I'm like, that's cap. But you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but you manage everything. She on longevity. She on, so she, you know, but she already planning the South Africa trip. Like she already put money aside. So I'm just like, all right. So we try to go somewhere every quarter though.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And just enjoy life from there, man.
Every quarter,
but,
huh?
Yeah, but I really want to live the type of life where I don't have to get away and vacate. And I do feel like I live the type of life now where it's not like, man, I gotta get away.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But it is something special about getting away.
Oh, listen. I get a different wife on vacation. So you know, I don't know something about the ocean. Let me just buy me a house on the ocean. Maybe it's just the water.
There we go.
But my wife, you know, just a little bit more liberal.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I don't want to go.
It's the water. It's the air out there.
It's
the palm trees.
Yeah, you know, that's what it is. But man, let's go back to. I think you mentioned, you know, B-Rad and you know quitting his job and things like that. Let's go back to when you had that decision to make. You know what I'm saying? Like you getting involved in the speaking industry, you start getting that check. And you got to, you know, make that full-time commitment. What did that look like for you?
Yeah, so for me...
where were you working at?
I was working for a school called Wyotech. It was like a tech school. So I was like...
I didn't know that.
I was like...
Because I don't think I never knew you to have a job for real.
right,
None of my friends got jobs.
Right, for sure.
Shout out to Will. Will the only one. My boy Will the only one. I be calling him like, where you at? He be like, work. I be like, damn.
Right. Still doing that?
Yeah. He's like, man, see, I'm going to get there, though.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I worked for a school called Wyotech. It was like an automotive tech school. So I was like a regional recruiter. So I would travel to different places in different schools and was supposed to break down the importance of the automotive industry and the aviation industry and how important it is. In case you don't want to go to college or the military, you should consider this because we got to have cars, we got to have airplanes, we got to have motorcycles. And this school that I work with can do that. But in my heart, see.
So you were speaking though.
Right. But I was supposed to give a 45-minute to an hour presentation on the program, the tuition, how great the job can be. But I'm in schools, bro, and I'm seeing kids that's like struggling. So I was like, man, bump that. I ain't got nobody looking over me. So I would go with heart. So I would go, if I got 50 minutes for that class period before the bell rings, I promise you on everything, but I'm going 35 minutes, heart, mindset, responsible decision making. You know what I'm saying? Putting yourself in the best position, thinking about what you can do for your family. Now I connect with their hearts and their minds. Now I'm like, and if you're interested, you might want to consider working with the company I work for, Wyotech. If you want to like working on cars and motorcycles and airplanes, like you could do our program 18 months and make this much money. And I was killing it because I didn't go all in with the program. Right. You know what I'm saying? I went with the programming of their heart, their mind, their purpose.
Okay.
And so that's how it was. And
how
then
much were you getting paid?
Starting off, it was like maybe 60 grand.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you know, it began to scale as I got a little bit better. And at that time, I thought like, man, I'm doing really good for myself. Year 2, year 3. But I'm realizing now like that there's levels to it. You know what
so
I'm saying?
You got up to 6 figures?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, I don't know about Jeremy where you come from, but where I came from, 6 figures was like
you arrived.
I mean, that was.
I always thought I would be pharmaceutical rep. I was like, if I could just make 6 figures, that's like doctor money.
So So for us, you know, for me, growing up in Lansing, Michigan, obviously the automotive industry was everything, and a lot of people were able to make a very good middle class lifestyle, 50, 60, 70,000 working at General Motors, right? And so we had very few white collar professionals. Like I remember my homie dad made 6 figures. He was a lawyer, and they bought a crib that was probably like my first crib, and I was like, yo.
They balling.
I mean, first of all, where I was from, just anything new.
Right, for sure.
Like, hold on, you got a stainless steel fridge?
Right.
Big dog.
Yeah.
That joint got ice right in the joint. I'm just telling you
No
where I'm
ice
from.
tray?
I'm just like, we didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? We had the blah da 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 da.
Yeah, for
they
sure.
fall out on the floor,
Yeah.
and then you make your ice.
For
you know
sure.
What I'm saying? We ain't had an auto ice. And so I never grew up seeing that. And so for me, when you say you walked away from six figures, you walked away from the highest level dream that I had in childhood,
Right.
which was if I could make six figures,
Right.
I'm in the 0.1% of anybody in my city.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so talk about that decision to walk away, because at this time you got Jewel.
Yeah.
At this time you married to Tracy. And if I know your wife, it's kind of like my wife, and their middle name is stability.
Absolutely. That's the sixth love language.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So talk about that process, man, of you finally saying, you know what? Did you say, I'm gonna wait till I got a dollar amount saved? Like as soon as I hit 40,000 in the account liquid, I'm out of here. Like what was that conversation?
I got to a point where in my heart, I felt almost like I'm not doing this company. I almost felt like I was doing them a disservice because I started getting like, you know what I'm saying, 3 speaking engagements a month.
Yep.
And it's like I'm taking off work and I'm taking off leave. And then I kind of almost felt kind of like character-wise, like, man, I feel like I'm hitting my numbers.
Yep.
I'm hitting my numbers, but I'm
Yeah,
not giving them my all.
Right,
You know, some
right,
people are
right.
really talented where you can give 70% and they look like you're giving 110.
Yep.
But I realized, like, I knew I had more inside me. There was a burning desire, but that was a guaranteed check. And then I can make this money speaking on the side. So I was just like, I was actually pretty cool with that, but I felt the longing. But man, this lady in my church was like, can you come to my middle school and speak? She was a counselor. So I was like, bet. So I pulled up and speak. They didn't have a budget. Poured into the kids, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. When I'm done, everybody runs out. I'm high-fiving all the kids. This before COVID. Remember we was touching people back in the day? Dapping up and stuff, right?
Pause.
So, you pause.
I wasn't touching nobody. You know what I'm saying? Just for the record. Come on.
I can make it so
Stay
much
with me.
worse. I'm going to keep it right there.
Stay with me.
Praise God. So I'm high-fiving all the kids. They
Yeah.
leaving.
Okay.
And so this is one little girl, red hair and freckles, man. And she's just crying. The principal's like, she want to talk to you. I'm just going to give y'all some space. Bro, she come to me and she's like, you saved my life. Thank you so much. I'm like, it wasn't even that deep. She was like, nope, I plan on committing suicide today. She was going through some stuff. Her best friend had killed herself. So she was like, I came to school with a plan, slipped out the back door to execute the plan. They caught me leaving, made me come to this stupid assembly, but I'm so glad I did, Mr. Jeremy, because now I want to live. So she look at her arms. She like, weapons will form, but they won't prosper because I'm more than a conqueror. That's what you said, right? I'm like, ooh. She's like, you said I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Like, I'm special. There's a plan for my life, right? I was like, you know how kids used to write on their arms and hands? And I was just like, yeah. And she was a cutter. And so I seen like the marks on her wrists and stuff. And so she was just like, I want to live, Mr. Jeremy. I want to live. Bro, she gave me a hug, ran off to class. Bro, my allergies kicked in. I ain't going to lie. Bro. I was a mess. The next day I went home and told my wife, that pollen hit strong, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking this little girl, you know what I'm saying? Like she may be 13, maybe just struggling. But she's like, now I want to live. And I'm like, did I just save that little girl's life? So I went home the next day and I went home that evening, and the next day I was struggling with it that whole night. And the next morning I made a decision to quit my job. I made my wife breakfast, 2 egg whites, avocado toast, oatmeal. That was her classic breakfast.
Yep.
Get her in the spirit.
Avocado toast?
Yeah. I've never been a fan of it.
Yeah. No, my wife is a huge fan.
Oh, bro, that thing is phenomenal. She loves it. So if she like it, I love it.
Did you spread the avocado like even?
Nah, you gotta slice it real thin.
Okay, because then sometimes you could break it down and just like spread it like.
Oh yeah, no, she like that.
She like slices
with a slight layer.
Now was the avocado right? Because avocado is tricky.
You're right. No, you gotta find the right kind because it can't be mushy, but it can't be hard.
It's like a 2-hour window where avocado is phenomenal. Right. You catch it, you know what I'm talking about. Right. You catch it outside of that window,
it ain't the same,
fam.
Yeah.
Even though, and like you look at it, you like if it's like, bro, it got that black on it. It's like, or if you catch it too early, it's plastic.
That's the worst. If you catch it too early.
Oh, you
She'll
catch
give
it
me
early.
Grace if it's a little on the super.
Yeah,
right.
but I'm saying on this day, as you about to break it to her,
bro, it was perfect. I feel like God laid everything out perfect.
Come on, fam.
Then I hit the right sea salt. And black pepper on that boy. So she's eating halfway through. I said, babe, I told her about
that's major nugget. That might be the butcher's cut right there. I don't know. That's a don't see, because some of y'all done threw some Captain Crunch in the bowl and you want to tell your girl you quitting the job. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna work.
Or gonna say it right after y'all got done with an argument, or she tired of stress coming from work.
Fam.
And you gonna drop that on her, and her anxiety already high.
Fam, this man had the sliced avocado, egg whites. Not the yolk.
No, she don't do the yolk.
That yolk will piss you off. Just the whites.
With the oatmeal, with the craisins and almonds in there, boy. The steel cut. Yeah. So
not the steel cut.
The steel cut. So I lay out the whole spread. Halfway through, I tell her about the story. She's like, babe, that is amazing. I'm so proud of you. I'm like, thank you, babe. I said, so this is what I want to share with you. I've been thinking about. So now my voice is cracking. And I'm trying to be Billy D smooth with it. My voice is cracking. I said, babe, I'm ready to quit my job and go all in speaking. Dog, she put the fork down. That clank was so loud. She was like, excuse me? Right. And I was like, yeah, so I started panicking.
Focus on your avocado, bro. Don't worry about
the avocado. Hit that oatmeal, boy. So I said, I said, hey, boo, that's what God said. So she's like, well, what he say about me? And I'm thinking like, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need you to keep working. And she was like, bump that. If you quit your job, I'm going to quit my job too. And my wife worked for Jacobs EST. That was a defense contractor with NASA. So she was on the Army base every day. Clearance and all. And so I was thinking like, did you pray about that? You know what I'm saying? Because in my brain, I'm like, if I quit, I know your salary, you get paid well. You could cover the mortgage, the car notes.
Right. Why I chase this dream?
She's like, bro, we all in together. And so that's why I tell people all the time, I'm like, man, miss me with conversations about faith. I'm like, I lived it. We walked away from a great lifestyle, healthcare, benefits, 401k, with a newborn baby, and we just built a brand new house 2 years prior. And it's like, now we walking away from all of this because purpose. So when people see the money we making now, and I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand the sacrifice I made years ago. But that was the catalyst, bro, for me to quit my job. And my wife's so gangster. She was like, we're going to do this thing together. Because she knew me. She was like, bro, you all over the place. You super hyper. Like, I'm about to manage you. We're going to structure it. Deal out the LLC. We're going to do it right. And the rest was history, bro.
So y'all had just built a new house too?
Yep. We built a house, but we was probably 2 years in. We built a house. Then after a year, we had Jewel. So year number 2.
In Huntsville? Or?
Yep, Huntsville.
Oh, in Huntsville. Okay. That was
brand new community.
Okay, so then when did you move to Atlanta? When I helped you move?
About 9 years ago.
So
we was there for about a year.
Okay.
And then we made that move.
Okay.
And I had to get out of Huntsville because Huntsville's a small town in Alabama. Everywhere I go, bro, people was like, Jay, you killing it. You blew up. And bro, I want to throw up. Bro, I'm sick. I'm like, I ain't even did nothing.
Yeah.
Like, what you on? Because it literally, like my spirit was disturbed. It literally bothered me. Because I was like, I ain't came nowhere near arriving.
Yeah.
But in that small town, in their mind, they like, bro, you blew up. I'm like, bro, I'm just getting started. So that's when I felt led.
Oh, and Atlanta will humble you.
Oh, for sure.
I got humbled in Atlanta. Like, okay, hold on.
And the rest was history.
Yeah. I mean, just again, in a good way, where it's just like, okay, it's folk doing well.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. So then you leave, you come to the A, and what's that transition to Atlanta? Like what? Because at the time you were doing ministry.
I was doing everything, see.
Right, and okay.
I'm talking about handyman tool belt. I could fix your HVAC. I could do a little plumbing work, a little drywall. I was a hand, and I didn't realize that until E called me out. So I was at that time. Imagine, right? I just quit my job. So I ain't about to turn down no engagement.
Nothing.
So if a little company got 4,000, I'm gonna take that and be elated. If a school got 2,500, if a church got 1,000, like I'm gonna take whatever I can get. And I did that for a couple of years. And I remember moving to Atlanta. I had a conversation with E, and he was like, "Bro, you got to make a decision."
That's how I knew he was homies for real though. When you called me up, asked me to help you move, and I actually came.
Oh, when you asked?
Yeah. Because I'd be like, no, here go 300 towards 2 men in the truck. I will help you with that, but I'm not coming and physically moving nothing.
Oh, bro.
And I came through, and it was a few of us.
Yeah. I had the homies pull up.
Oh, we pulled up.
Yeah.
We pulled up deep. I think you gave us some pizza, though. So
I did have the pizza and the Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Jewel was a baby, man.
Yeah.
Dang. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I just thought about that. That was the last time I helped somebody move.
Yeah, that was a brutal.
Yeah, I don't do that no more.
No.
Don't call CJ for no moving, nothing. Don't call me for no heavy tables, none of that. Listen, I'm 40 now. I break down easy.
Listen,
I got a couple, but I do have a little bit more bread than I had back then.
For sure.
So I could sponsor a little, one mover. I'll sponsor myself.
Bro, when it was time for soap
in my likeness.
I was like, oh yeah, I'll be there, like in spirit.
Yeah,
but I'm finna hire a whole crew.
That's it.
Now, my sister's moving right now. I told her I can't be there, but I got a crew showing up.
Come on.
Yeah, let me bless you.
Come on, let me bless you.
The way my back
and I'll come through once y'all get set up.
because Jackson only 4. I ain't trying to pull nothing too soon.
Fam, come on.
No.
Yeah, all right,
So,
cool, got you.
So I was about to share something. What was I about to say?
You moved to Atlanta.
Yes. Oh, yeah, and E. I'm all over the place.
Yep.
So I called E, and E was like, bro, I see you doing your thing. He was like, but you need to choose a lane.
Yeah.
Because on my website, you could click at the top, corporate, churches, or schools. And you clown me on that.
What you want to do?
Right. So I hit churches, and you see a drop down with videos of me preaching and baptizing. You hit schools, you see me in schools. You hit corporate, you see a few little corporate joints. And so I was like, man, this got his own little portal, depending on what you want. And he was like,
oh, you was geeked about that.
Oh, for sure. I thought I was brilliant. And he was like, that's cool, but you look like a handyman. And I never forget, he was like, if you really want to dominate, and you really want to leave a legacy and a mark, if you want to make maximum impact, you got to choose a lane. And I struggle with it. And he was like, I remember I hit you, and I was like, bruh, like, which one do you see? You was like, because for me, corporate, I was like, okay, that ain't it right now.
Yep.
But between churches and schools, and I remember you was like, bro, I could see both, but maybe churches, I ain't really seen nobody like preach the gospel like you. You got a different type of swag. And he was like, I could see that, but I could also see schools. And I was actually low-key pissed at y'all. Because I'm like, man, y'all is like this. Y'all supposed to be in one accord, right?
Right.
And both of y'all is like, well, you could do either one. And I was just, but I asked myself, how can I make the biggest impact? And where's my voice needed most? And so that's one hack and one tip I would give to our community, our listeners, our followers, right? Is you got to ask yourself, I literally say, okay, if I say churches, what if I preach at the church every single weekend, which I'm not going to be at every weekend.
Yep.
But say it's a decent sized church and say I reach however many people. Okay, say it's church, the average church in America has 115 members. The average. It's a whole bunch of small churches.
Yep.
But let's just say I hit a church every month and they've got 500 members. That's 2,000 people I reached in a month. But the reality is when I leave, bro, I'm the guest preacher. Your pastor is still there to shepherd you. Bro, I went to one school that next week, 35 on the West Coast, 3,500 students. I said, I just reached 3,500 kids in one day. And ain't nobody showing up on a regular basis. So for me, it was clear, yes, if I get invited to speak, I'll go and minister, but I'm putting all my focus into this area here because that's where I need it most.
And I want to be clear, when E and I said that to you, and as you know, the people listening are going into their speaking career and doing whatever, when we say choose a lane, that doesn't mean then you say no to every opportunity that comes outside of that lane. When we say choose a lane, we're more so referring to marketing and branding.
Correct.
Right? The presentation in which you present yourself or say, this is the type of speaker I am. That doesn't mean that if I say, yeah, I want to do all corporate and schools call me with 30,000 and I'm capable of doing that I say no because I'm a corporate speaker. It just means this is the way we're going to brand ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because nobody believes you when you say you're a master of all trades. Like nobody believes that, right? Like when somebody said, like, I just don't want the same person doing my plumbing doing my marriage counseling.
For sure.
I'm not saying my man not sweet at both.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, you just fixed the toilet.
Right.
I'm not sure that you got enough, time in your day to be in your word like you need to and be counseling me and my wife in marriage.
Facts.
And so I'm just saying, choose a lane that you present to. Now, if my toilet so happen to get backed up 1,000,000 times and my man coming through and every time he dropping a word, then I might be like, you know what? Bob seemed like he might be able to. You see what I'm saying? But in terms of how you present yourself, and I always say this: your job is to make yourself the #1 search on Google.
Right.
When I go to type in whatever it is, I want you to come up. I can't go in there and type in "show me everything."
Right.
But what I can do is say at-risk youth, motivational speakers, black males.
Boom.
Enter.
Right.
And something will come up. And that something that comes up is usually I'm going to be real. If you go, let's just say, Jay, you needed something happened down here, you had a leak, drywall. You're going to type in drywall repair near me.
Mm-hmm.
How many pages of Google you hitting before you make a decision?
Oh, the first 3. I ain't yet. And I'm looking at the reviews and I'm making a decision.
And I'm saying, I'm going first 3 lines. I ain't going first 3 pages.
Oh,
I'm not finna be dipped off into the I don't think I've been to the 3rd page in Google yet.
Mm-mm.
What I'm doing is I'm looking for the first 3, and then I go, all right, this C&H handyman or construction drywall guy seem all right. Cool. Then the next thing I do is go
to the second one.
To the reviews.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go to the reviews. Hey, what is this person saying? First 3 reviews, they was late, they messed up my thing and put a hole in my wall. You're done.
You're done. Mm-hmm.
So you want to be top searched and you want to have high reviews.
Absolutely.
So that's what we teach on in the academy, and that's how our students are getting a lot of engagements because they're learning how to present themselves as one thing. And so when we were telling Jeremy, hey, don't have 3 things on there, think about it. It's a conflict of interest off rip. If I'm a school and I go there and I see you have a whole website next to mine preaching, now I'm going, if he comes in here, is he about to be,
for sure,
that's against our code. Like, we can't even have that in schools.
Right.
So is he about to come in here pushing an agenda of like get saved in Christianity? Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it just confuses the audience.
It was literally an overnight transformation. Because I was watching analytics, bro. I was having, you know what I'm saying, hundreds of people per week come to the site, but a lot of them wasn't filling out the form because they was confused. I'm gonna share this with you, right? If you confuse me, you'll lose me.
Yes.
If you compel me, you'll sell me. One more time. If you confuse me, you'll lose me. Yep. If you compel me, you'll sell me. So I told myself when I changed it and I changed the whole website and I only had schools, that next week I got like 8 or 9 different requests to speak. All for schools. Because there was no question, is he going to preach? Can my kids relate to him if he does corporate? It was like, nah, I'm just all schools. And now I've just kept that track record over the years, and now I average anywhere from 15 to 20 requests a week.
And you take how many out of that?
Maybe 1 or 2.
15 or 20.
Mm-hmm.
And that's ranging from all kind of numbers, I'm guessing.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some low, like 5, 7, 10 grand, and then some really high.
And it's something to say low 5.
Well, yeah, but there were
little light, pocket change, 10 stacks.
You know what I mean? That sounds bad. Yeah. I'm grateful for it all, though. And I don't feel bad about not taking those opportunities because we got a whole community that we can refer and put people in the game. But yeah, that for me was a game changer. And so shout out to you and E. That's why I tell y'all, man, like information changes situations. Applied information changes situations. And that's why we create the podcast, to give y'all game, to give y'all insight, so y'all know what adjustments to make, because we really want to see you win. There are literally millions of opportunities out here in the world. ET did the research. It's 1.7 million corporations annually that book speakers. It's like 50-something thousand national conferences. It's 132,000 elementary, middle, and high schools in the world. Like 50,000 universities. Like, it's so many opportunities. We can't even begin to scratch the surface. And so through this podcast, we hoping to give y'all as much game as possible. To put you in the game.
It's crazy too. I'm thinking about like even ourselves. So he was preaching when I met him. Like he was a full-time pastor. And it's funny, like, just to show you that, we eat our own cooking. What we were telling you, he was doing the motivational speaking. We didn't put not one sermon online until 2020 when COVID hit.
Wow.
That's the first time. Think about Guru Story came out in 2006, 2007.
Wow.
It was 13 years.
Wow.
Before we put one sermon up.
Wow.
Not that we were trying to hide the fact that he was a Christian or a pastor or anything. We were, and from our marketing efforts, now he was still preaching every week, but our marketing efforts were corporate, started with schools, then corporate. And so we did not bring that element until he was number 1 in the world. And then during COVID, he was like, yo, the world hurting so much right now. Let's start putting the sermons out there. And I remember people were hitting me like, yo, he really a pastor? And I was like, yo, his name E.T. the hip hop preacher. And they was like, I thought that was just something funny y'all made up because he got a voice like a preacher. And I was like, no, he been preaching every single week since I met him, since you know him probably. Every single week. And we just start putting those sermons up just to show you that we're eating our own cooking, if you will. Jay, we almost out of here, man. Give him that butcher's cut this week. What's the butcher's cut?
Yeah, so the butcher's cut. Explain it to them in case they missed the first episode.
Yep, sorry. So if you missed it, the butcher's cut. Anybody who go to a real butcher,
I get hungry every time you tell me.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The butcher's cut is like the cut that the butcher keeps to himself, right? Like this might be the best cut on. You got a huge cow. He got to dice that joint up, and he get to the butcher's cut, and that's the joint he usually keep for himself.
Yeah.
But today, Jeremy is our butcher. He gonna give y'all the game, man. Something usually reserved for only the butcher. So
my butcher cut for the day kind of goes back to what we were saying when you travel and you speaking, and then people are kind of engaged with you, and you check reviews. You said that, right?
Yep.
You look for reviews. So this is my butcher's cut. Every time you speak, you're asking for referrals, but you also ask them to leave you a review. Make it super easy. I'm just going to send you this quick little link. It literally takes you 60 seconds. It would mean so much for me if you felt that I was worthy of a 5-star. If not, I understand if you don't want to write a review. Because you don't necessarily want to say, don't write it if it's 3. I understand if you don't want to give me a 5-star review, but if you do, and then just imagine whether it's paid or whether it's not, and you just have them break down how it was. But now over the years, when somebody looks you up and they see your stuff, now they see all these reviews, and now that adds to social proof. It builds to credibility. And when you first start off, the more of that you have, the better. And then you can take that testimonial, that review, put it on your website, put it in Reels. Like, there's so much you can do with it. And so I'm all about all my butcher cuts that I'm going to be giving y'all. It's going to show you how to take one opportunity, turn it into another and another and another, because you can't make demands if you're not in demand.
Man, come on, man. This episode is all episodes brought to you by nextlevelspeakersacademy.com. All right, myself, Jeremy, Inky Johnson, Eric Thomas, man, giving y'all all the game to get in the speaking industry. For those of you out there, you know you got to give, you know you got a talent. Man, you've been speaking, you do presentations in your office, you're a teacher, you speak for a living, and you want to learn how to either make some side income or like Jeremy and, B-Rad and a couple other people, be able to walk away from your job altogether, man, and create a new lifestyle for your family. nextlevelspeakersacademy.com. We doing it big. Y'all see the logo in the back.
Let's go.
Man, we got conferences coming up, man. We hit Mexico with the crew a little while ago, man. It is an amazing time to be, involved in this. Hopefully y'all enjoying this podcast. Share it with somebody who could use it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Let's get it.